today we want to talk about where you actually host that data, where you can keep it secure, more secure than where you're at. And there's nothing more glaring to me than the example. I was in a 6-location pediatric center, and I asked them about if they were looking at hosting their information in the cloud. They have HIPAA guidelines, all kinds of things that are governing the safe storage of client information, health records, things of that nature. And I said, so where do you host your server? And I look up, it was in the secretary's office, next to a window in a very bad area of town with no bars on it. All somebody had to do was crack that window, run off with that server, and they had a bunch of information. And so I shared with them 2 things. One, that server is not safe because you can physically run off with that. The other problem with it, it's not, it doesn't have, what's the term I'm looking for, no redundancy, because they only have one internet. If the internet goes down, they don't have access to that. And then the third problem is that if somebody were to, what's the term I'm looking for here? Actually, let me just introduce my guest, and I'll let him share those 3 things. But basically, I shared with them, you need to go into the cloud. You actually need to co-locate your server, and we have a guest here who's going to tell us a little bit about what that means. So today we're joined by Darren Clare. Did I say your last name correctly?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. He's with Pi Data Center?
PI Data Center.
PI Data Center. And we met at a trade show. We talked a little bit about Trusted Team. He actually is one of the newest members of our Trusted Team. So if you hear a Trusted Team theme coming through here, yeah, we absolutely love Trusted Team members. So if you want to go to bizgrowth.trustedteam.com /start and create yourself your own profile on Trusted Team, you'll also be able to join Darren. If you have anything that you think would be closely allied to co-hosting servers, co-locating servers, then let us know. So what are the 3 or 4 big reasons? And first of all, tell us about what co-locating means. And then what are the few reasons a business owner would know that he should probably go use your services?
Well, co-location is basically a way for businesses to store their servers at a secure facility, such as a data center. And what a data center provides is that redundancy you're talking about when it comes to IP services. We have, at PI Data Center, we have multiple blended IP services that come into our facility. So that allows that if one connection goes down, that the others are still up and going, and the customer is still able to access their data. Another thing is backup generators. I just spoke with somebody at the trade show, and much of the same story you had. He was hosting a server in a closet, and what they don't have is the appropriate backup batteries and generators that they need to keep their servers continually running.
I remembered my third one to try to save myself, climate control.
Yes, exactly right.
That server's not going to last as long, and if it goes down and kind of melts on you, you're going to have a creek.
Exactly right. And that is the third thing is climate control. At our data center, each of the servers are specifically cooled at a specific temperature. And they're constantly monitored at that temperature to protect your mission critical data. And so those are one of the few reasons, and the main reasons why you would want to co-locate any business that would want to co-locate their servers at a data center. Was that purpose?
Absolutely. And then you have cybersecurity issues. Now, do you guys essentially co-locate? You don't actually manage the server for them.
Well, we do have some offerings where we can manage some services. We do have some customers that want us to manage some firewalls for them. That gives them a little bit more security and so forth, and we can do that. But mainly what we do is we provide a secure facility that has all of the necessary features that data centers need at an affordable price. And one of the things we identified is that co-location doesn't need to be as expensive as it is today. And that's one of the great things about PI Data Center is that we provide all of those necessary features. Backup generators, fire detection. We have a Vesda fire detection that actually sniffs and prevents fires. We have a 24/7 tech support and access. Blended IP offerings, like I said before. All of these features any customer can get with PI Data Center at an affordable price, and not, typically half of the price is what the competition is out there.
And it's funny that you mentioned that about the fire. You would think, well, when would we ever have a fire with a server? Actually, I'm very aware of a company that lost, I would say, at least $500,000 in business as a result of having a fire. So, just these are things are very, very important. And also, if your building ever burns down, which sometimes is not your fault, you're a tenant. You're hoping that they have everything according to fire code. The thing burns down, and if you ever go in and read your lease agreement, you're responsible for it all, even though they don't say anything about it. It's not like your apartment when you grew up in college or whatever the case might be. Mm-hmm. So it burns down. You're not only out your physical chattel, all of your all of your office supplies and all of that, but you're also out your server. So in the meantime, if you co-locate your server and have it off-site, it's at least one of the things that's preserved.
Absolutely. And one of the new things we rolled out at PI Data Center is pay-as-you-go, no-term pricing. And we developed this program for small businesses that want that flexibility. Maybe they're project-oriented, mm-hmm.
Where
they have a project that starts and ends, and it's not a 3-year, it's not a 2-year. For startups that developed a new software that want to get it out on the web, but don't want to be locked into a 3-year term, mm-hmm. and worried that whether their software is going to be able to make it or it's past that date. So our pay-as-you-go, to our knowledge, we're the only data center that offers pay-as-you-go, no-term pricing, where somebody can. It's basically try and buy. They can move their server, they can move their equipment into our data center, and go month to month, and then. If it works out where they need long-term, they could flip it to some of our term pricing, save money, mm-hmm. and really with no extra fees on top of that.
That is amazing. It truly is, because it's hard to know, speaking of as a small business owner, if you happen to have a reputation management hit and you have a 90% reduction in your productivity, you never know what's going to happen, right? So it's kind of nice to be able to know that you're on a month-to-month with something, you walk away where they aren't going to be coming after you for a 5-year agreement or whatever they might have in one of the other data centers. So this is one of the reasons that we're excited to have PI Data Center on our trusted team. And also, here's one of the things I want to point out about selecting members of your trusted team is that we work a lot with Crescendo. We work a lot with cloud phone systems, so VoIP cloud phone systems, moving those into the cloud, hosting websites. So everything is moving toward the cloud. And actually, I think as the cloud became bigger and bigger, two things happened that created the cloud for the rest of us, and that is exactly the person we're talking to here. That when all the servers started moving into the cloud and having really good internet connectivity because you actually have to have some pretty good internet connectivity to be able to access your server, obviously, which is something that they have, probably very, very heavy, terabyte style is going to be my guess into their data center. So you have a lot of these higher bandwidth opportunities coming out. Then it allows you to put your servers into the cloud, and now all of a sudden it enables you to put all kinds of things in the cloud. Microsoft's 365 Office program would not have been able to go well in the cloud 5 years ago, but it's doing well now. QuickBooks, when it first came out, went in the cloud. It was a miserable experience. I don't know if anybody used it, but nowadays with the higher internet connectivity, it doesn't grind, and it's not a 3-hour experience to put in 3 sets of data now. So all very important things. So we owe it all to the guys with the data centers that co-locate. So and then being able to not have to have a long-term commitment. Yeah, you're going to pay just a little bit more when you don't have to have a long-term commitment, but that peace of mind and knowing that you don't have that long-term commitment is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And even our no-term pricing is still half the price of what our competitors are. So they're still going to get that affordable price on their own terms.
Now, tell us where if they wanted to come down and take a tour, where would they come down to visit you?
Well, our location is it's 2922 West Clarendon Avenue, and that's Phoenix. Our major crossroads are basically I-17 and Indian School Road. Mm-hmm. I can be reached. We have an 800 number. It's probably the easiest to get a hold of me is 800-748-1688. Again, my name is Darren Clare, and I'm with PI Data Center, and we'd be happy to invite anyone who wants to actually even tour the facility and see what it looks like and see what we can do for them.
Perfect. If they want to set up a tour, what phone number would they use?
The 1-800 number would be fine, 800-748-1688.
Okay, and then ask for Darren Clare. So also, if you want to go to bizgrowth.trustedteam.com, you'll be able to see his site there as an individual person. And then also I have to give a plug for YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube. In about a week we'll have this up on our site, and you can join the other 20 or 30,000 people that will go there and view this particular episode. So thanks so much for tuning into the Social Universe. Thank you, Darren, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And also, if you need to find out more information, go to pidatacenter.com. Thanks again for tuning into the Social Universe. This is Kurt Wilhelm, the host of the Social Universe here on Voice America and World Talk Radio, and we'll make sure that we provide great material next week. So don't forget to tune in the same time next week. Thanks so much, and we'll see you then.